Dear ladies and gentlemen, let me at the outset thank the KK Foundation led by the various dignitaries here and my friend Mr. Prince Vaidyan for giving me an opportunity to pay tribute to such a colossus as Captain Krishan Nair. Now, in an era when we are having trouble finding models, role models in Indian society, and such role models are very difficult to come by, we have a phenomenon called Padma Bhushan Captain Krishan Nair. Even at an active, alert 91, accolades and honors never seem to stop by for him. And his latest recognition being the honorary doctorate of Jodhpur National University for his contribution to hospitality industry and acumen in business management. This he had received along with the doyen of Hindi cinema, Amitabh Bachchan. How does one start to unravel the enigma called Captain Krishan Nair? I think that he remains an enigma. I first heard of him and started admiring him from my uncle. I don't know whether he remembers, and many of the people here will not know. My father's twin brother used to live in Bombay. He was a textile technologist. He used to work here, and he also ran some industries for about 50 years. He used to live in Pali Hill and used to be a friend of Dr. Krishan Nair. His name was G. Raghavan Pillai. And he used to tell me in the late 70s and 80s, when I was just out of college, about a great entrepreneur, because he used to admire him tremendously. And I believe he has planted, helped Dr. Krishan Nair plant most of the garden and the trees over here, which are still there. And I used to hear about this legendary personality and wonder when I'm going to meet him. And I had this impression, which is true of course, that he was an amazing entrepreneur, and more than that, an amazing human being. And the first opportunity I had to meet him was when I was Secretary for Industries and Commerce, when Mrs. Sushila Gopalan, the wife of the late A.K. Gopalan, was the Industries and Commerce Minister of Kerala. At that time, I had come along with her as the Secretary for Industries and Commerce, and she was trying to get him to invest in Kerala, particularly to revive the traditional handlooms and handicrafts in northern Kerala. And I was struck by his optimism and by his dynamism, even because I had imagined him to be a person like that, and he even exceeded my imagination. I would sum up Dr. Krishan Nair as an entrepreneur par excellence. You know, I think this nation, and particularly the state of Kerala, does not value entrepreneurism. I, for one, believe that real wealth of a country is its entrepreneurs. You know, you have countries where there is no natural resource available, you don't have much of infrastructure. Look at post-war Japan, for example. The only thing they had was destroyed infrastructure and the will to succeed and entrepreneurism. And they quickly made up for lost time. And it was sheer entrepreneurism which brought them to the second biggest economy in the world after the United States of America. Such growth in economy can only be led by entrepreneurs such as Dr. Krishan Nair. And Kerala, I'm sorry sir, has not been able to avail of your tremendous entrepreneurism, except of course we have the Leela Hotel in Kovalam. But other than that, not many opportunities for entrepreneurism could be enjoyed by Kerala. But I think it is Kerala's loss, but India's gain. I think that what is the quality of an entrepreneur? I find that the entrepreneur recognizes opportunity where others don't see the opportunity, and the entrepreneur grabs that opportunity, and he also has a certain risk-taking ability. It's not a blind risk-taking ability. He has an ability to assess the risk and take a risk which he can bear. And that is what helps an entrepreneur to create wealth out of nothing. just human resources and other people's money, he creates wealth. I think his wife, Mrs. Leela Krishnan Nair, has once said, I read in an interview, that whatever Krishnan Nair sir touches turns into gold. This is really true of an excellent entrepreneur. And he never wastes an opportunity. He waits for the right timing to start something. Once he told me that it was Ramakrishna Hegde, when he went to Bangalore to meet him, said, why don't you start a hotel here? And he waited and started the hotel in 2001. And that was a time the software industry in Bangalore was growing very fast. And this was very close to the airport. So here was an opportunity. They wanted a world-class hotel. Bangalore had none, and there was Leela. And that created a model for Indian hotel industry, and I'm sure that leadership and innovation still continues. Another very strong, admirable quality I find him is his unflinching optimism. Whatever be the problem which comes to him, he faces it with laughter, just as he's doing now. It gives tremendous confidence to people who are along with him and supporting him. When we think we are in a sinking boat, we hear a man with a tremendous amount of optimism and laughing. Naturally, it really raises the morale of the entire team, and that is what he has been doing in Leela Group. There have been always there will be ups and downs in the life of a businessman. You know, earlier when Leela had a tie-up with Penta, I don't think it was a very good experience. It was a short experience. Quickly moved over to Kempinski, and that was a very, very fruitful relationship and a long relationship. And hotel projects are long gestation projects. You got to invest in property, you got to get the clearances. He had to deal with bureaucracy, particularly the umpteen number of clearances that has to come in construction of hotels, in every entrepreneurial activity in India. And property in Goa, for example, invested heavily in it and took a very long time to come out and really start making money out of it. But he kept steadfast and he kept being an optimist. The Delhi experience with the HUDCO property is also known. I think had a very bad experience. The former chairman of HUDCO, Mr. Suresh, is a good friend of mine, is here. But it was a bad time at that time, but later he won. The Udaipur property, so many cases where a person in his 60s or early 70s would say, okay, I've had enough, I'm quitting. But not Dr. Krishnan Nair. Captain Krishnan Nair was facing all these challenges with a smile and with his indomitable will and tremendous amount of passion and enthusiasm for the hoteliering industry. He has been able to bring Leela Group to such a large group with more than 8 valuable properties and 5 or 6 more in the pipeline. Another very good quality I find him is vision, not just necessarily in the issue of hoteliering or hospitality sector. His vision for India, his vision for the people of India, vision for society. I've never seen such a visionary who has such a practical view also. Most visionaries are idealists who like to dream about things. But Dr. Krishnan Nair is quite the opposite. He believes in a dream and he works towards it, and he shows in a very realistic way that these dreams can be achieved. And this is a very great quality, sir. I try to emulate you in dreaming big, but you always should dream big. And in Dr. Krishnan Nair, we have an eminent nationalist. I have found few people who are as proud to be an Indian as he is. He's always said and felt it from his heart that Indians can achieve anything. If we have achieved quite a lot, particularly post 1990, the liberalization and so on, it is because the qualities which he said, pride in India, in a globalized world, we can still survive, that confidence, everything comes from him. His leadership and innovation are exemplary. His leadership, I think, started very young. You know, when I talk about his life, you'll come to know about it. He always showed leadership wherever he worked, whether he was in school, or whether he was in the freedom movement, or whether he was in the army, or whether he was in the handloom industry, or later on in the hospitality sector. He always showed leadership, and people looked up to him as a leader because he set a trend which others were happy to follow. His social commitment is another very, very important quality I value. And I think it's probably because of his socialistic moorings, contact with A.K. Gopalan and so on. It is there somewhere deep in his mind. He knows that for production, for creation of wealth, you need to have an approach which may not be a socialistic method of production. But he still believes a lot in distributive justice, particularly in terms of education of poor people, children. He's a staunch believer that everybody must have free education for as long as he wants. And I'm sure that India, and particularly Kerala, has produced huge manpower exports which are really sustaining the economy only because of our educational background. The basic education, the free education, and the socialistic style of not charging fees right up to 10th or 12th standard now have all helped Kerala build up a huge economy now based on manpower export, which is the only reason I think Kerala economy is surviving. We've had amazingly a 9.5% state GDP growth last year as compared to a lower rate for the whole of India. You don't find industry there, you don't find much industry except hospitality, I think. But in spite of that, it is education which is really helping us. And as a humanist, I think he has concern not only for human beings but also for the environment. And this concern is not something new. It's recently quite a fad. It's very fashionable to say I am a sustainable industry man, or I am an environmentalist, etc. But long before this became really fashionable, Captain Krishnan Nair has right from the beginning of his career been able to work towards creating good environments and seeing that pollution does not result as a result of the handloom or the garment industry, etc., which he was heading, as well as the hospitality industry. So this steadfast adherence to values like environmentalism and to quality in service have ensured that he has always bounced back, whatever be the setbacks which have come, There is a saying which goes like this, you can't keep a good man down, and certainly Captain Krishnan Nair was a good man who could not be kept down at all. He was always bouncing up, whatever be the adversity, whatever be the adverse circumstances he had to face.